Well, well, first of all, the initial attack on Klay Thompson was a bit much there, Skip. I mean, you grabbing a guy, throwing him around a couple of times. Now, Draymond, obviously, from a distance, is looking at Rudy Gobert put his hands on his teammate. I'm 100% with the enforcer.
Yeah.
He's my enforcer in Draymond Green. Mm-hmm. I'm 100% with protecting my players on my team. I'm not going to sit back and allow somebody to do something to you or Richard Sherman or Michael Irvin if I'm within eyes distance, arm length to be able to get to him. Yeah. And I know we all want to jump on Draymond because Draymond's history at getting ejected, what Draymond did last year, preseason and training camp that he did to Poole. I mean, So he has a history. So the first thing we want to do is condemn him for the actions. Now, look, it's a flagrant 2. Okay, that's fine. He may get suspended a game or whatever. I'm willing to accept that based on him protecting one of my star players. And Coach said it right there. When you look at the situation, dude putting his hands on my teammate. Right. I'm not going to sit back and allow that to happen. And Klay's, we would think that Klay is well enough to protect himself. But in that situation, I got my dog with me. He's going to do it for me. Therefore, I can now go my own way and allow him to step in and lead the charge. So if anything, as far as I'm concerned, it's on Rudy Gobert.
I agree. First off, it was between those two. It was a good little scuffle. They ripped Klay's jersey. I think both of them deserve to get ejected or both of them just get attacked, whatever you want to do. But it got to be equal punishment to both because they both were involved in it. You can't just sit there and say, oh, Klay Thompson gets ejected and McDaniel gets to stay. I don't agree with the way they handled that. Now, Rudy Gobert in this situation is 100% wrong. You don't grab, in the middle of a scuffle, you grab your guy. You grab the guy because anything else you do is incendiary. You grab our guy in the middle of a scuffle with your guy, it looks like it's 2-on-1. And soon as you see that from a distance, regardless of anything that happens, it's going to be, you've just reignited the fire for everybody. So if you grab McDaniel and you walk away, nothing else happens. Nobody gets any extra, everybody walks away. But the moment you grab a player from the opposing team, then you are sparking the fire. You are throwing gasoline on the fire, and everything that else that happens after that is on you. Like, you get mad at Draymond, then don't grab his guy. Grab your guy. That's your teammate. I don't know what your intentions are when you grab my guy, so I'm going to assume that they're malicious, and I'm going to act accordingly, and that's what Draymond did. He was not in the wrong for doing that. Like you said, Key, he's the enforcer on that team. He is the guy that's going to stand up for his guys, and that's what he did.
Are you okay that he put a headlock on Rudy Gobert?
Yeah, you do what you got to do. Rudy Gobert, 7'10".
Well, he's about 7'10". Well, go ahead,
yeah,
Keyshawn.
Skip. It was a headlock, Skip, but this was not it wasn't the chokehold. Okay, it wasn't one of those. Yeah. He was not. He was pulling him away from him in the headlock. And as people start to crowd around and everybody's pushing and shoving, it looks a little bit more egregious than what it really truly is when you break it all the way down, Skip. Now, like Richard just said, you pull your own guy away like CP3 did. What did CP3 do? He went and got Klay Thompson and said, come on over here. He didn't go and grab a Minnesota Timberwolves. No. He grabbed his own guy.
Okay, I got you. I'm going to start from the start. I was shocked because there's an out-of-character behavior here from Klay Thompson. He doesn't usually play this style of basketball because we've barely gotten into the game. Jaden McDaniels said that Klay was chirping before the game, which is not like Klay to chirp pregame. So I don't know if there was some bad blood back and forth, and I can't believe because it's an in-season tournament game that players are hyped for it. I just don't think they're taking it that seriously, like Klay's all into like NBA Finals serious mode. But for whatever reason, as you guys point out, as Klay is trying to shield Jaden off from the missed shot, he reaches and grabs him, as Jaden said, by the collar of his jersey and is holding on to the collar of his jersey as he's screening him with an arm bar. Okay, so right there, that's out of character and it's out of line. And I don't blame Jaden for saying, let me go. And then he grabs Klay's jersey as they go up court. And one thing leads to another. I forget which one of you said, I think Keyshawn said, I don't see how you eject both of them for that. That's just a tech and a tech.
Jaden threw a punch.
Did he?
Watch it.
Okay.
Watch it.
Is there a punch thought? Well,
watch it. Watch it. Push, 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 push. Punch coming.
Okay.
Bang.
Wait, I see.
Yeah, it was a right hand.
I thought
no, it was a right hand.
With his left hand.
No, it was a right hand. Right as they crossed the midcourt, he hit him with a right hand.
And then throw a left
right
after.
hand.
Watch it. Watch it.
I'm seeing Klay throw a left hand.
Look, watch it close, Skip.
Last night.
Push, 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 push.
Push,
punch.
right there.
I just see him just trying to lift his arm
Punch.
up.
Look, watch at the end of that. Watch 3. Left hand straight. Left straight.
Yeah.
Is there a punch
He went
landed?
right, then he went left.
I don't see a punch.
Yeah, he went right, then he went left.
Watch at the end. Just watch Jaden. Watch it past half court. Here it comes, Skip. Bang.
I see him lift his elbow up, but I don't see a punch like
you
a
keep
fist
looking
throw.
away right when it happens. Stop looking away right when it happens.
I see Klay go with his left like he threw a punch. Okay, but they're just, okay, this is just me. I'm old school NBA. I've been watching since the 70s. In the 80s in the NBA, that was absolutely nothing. That was play on. Trust me, it was play on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just from my perspective, my value system, I'm still giving them both a technical foul. I don't see any punches landed, but this is today's NBA. So,
right.
Okay, whatever. Now we get to Gobert comes in to separate. Okay, what's Gobert's reputation in this league? Is he a lover or a fighter? He's a lover, right? Well, come on, let's be honest about it. Is Rudy Gobert, does he have enforcer in him? I don't think so. Draymond does, Rudy not so much. Mm-hmm. In fact, that's been the knock on Rudy, is he doesn't have enough quote-unquote killer instinct. So I believe, as the refs concluded, that Rudy was coming into, they said he was a peacemaker. That's what they said after the game. Referees absolved him from blame because they said he's peacemaking. He's just trying to push them apart, break them up. But you guys don't like it when he's putting hands on both players.
No, because he didn't put hands on both players. He put hands on the Golden State player. He put hands on Klay Thompson because Jaden McDaniels was already gone. They were already separated, Skip. That's the problem. When they're already separated and you're talking about peacemaker, you weren't needed. You weren't required. Where's Jaden McDaniel when he comes in? He's already back. He's at the three-point line. And then you're the problem. You're the reason this escalates further because Chris Paul is coming in to try to grab his guy like he should. And you should go grab your guy. If you want to de-escalate the situation and be a peacemaker, then grab your guy.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time. I'm trying to see what Steve Kerr saw, or at least his coaches saw, that Rudy is putting hands around Klay's neck. Is he putting hands?
He touched him. He touched him.
I can't really see.
He touched him.
Yeah, right. No,
he touched him right there. You see? He touches him.
Neck.
He grabs him. No. He grabs him in a mini chokehold around his neck. He clearly does it right there. Right there. You see that? He clearly does it.
Pull him away?
He should not skip. Touch the other player that's not on his team at all whatsoever. He violated the code. If the Warriors are about it, which they are, they're going to protect their guy. They're not going to sit back and just allow some dude to touch. It's just not going to happen, not in professional sports.
No.
It wouldn't have happened in the 80s. It wouldn't have happened in the 70s. And you mentioned 70s. Well, hell, I caught the end of the 70s. You know, I didn't catch the beginning like you, but I caught the end. And I caught the 80s. And I know the way Detroit beat up Michael. I get it. I understand all of those sort of things. But you cannot do what they're doing right there and think you're going to get away with it. Not going to happen.
Just remember my perspective. I was covering the game the night that Kermit Washington got a head start, a running start, and hit Rudy Tomjanovich with a straight right to the jaw that nearly killed Rudy Tomjanovich, because then I had to go to the hospital and stay up all night covering, like, quote-unquote, death watch, because they said they thought he was not going to make it through the night. That's my perspective on the old NBA that the current commissioner wants no part of, obviously.
Right, because perception is reality these days, Skip. And these days you don't want to see conflict. You know, you don't want to see there's enough chaos in the world. But this was a let them play. You're right, Skip. This should have been a double tech. And whatever it should have been equal. You can't kick one out and keep one in at the end of the day. I mean, you can kick Draymond out. That was a little extra.
It was a little extra. Okay, I get what both of you say, and Keyshawn, the whole idea of it was a headlock, but it wasn't like a chokehold. It wasn't like he's trying to choke him out. He's trying to pull him away with arm locked around neck. He's pulling his neck. It's a bad look for the NBA because I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I don't think I've ever seen that. But I can tell you this, Draymond, high basketball IQ, he knows who he could sort of get away with that against and who he couldn't. And even though, as Richard said, I don't know how tall Rudy is. He's like 7'12" or 14 or something, whatever he is. But Draymond knows he can get away with that with Rudy, and there are other players you probably couldn't get away with that without starting a second fight. You'd have an all-out fight if you tried to pull somebody away with it.
See, Skip, I think in this situation, it wouldn't matter. Yeah. It wouldn't matter if it was Ron Artest. I think in this situation, it wouldn't matter to Draymond because he's trying to... No, I understand you would have your hands full, but Ron Artest is a major enforcer, a guy that you probably don't want to do that to. Yeah. But because Draymond is the enforcer on this particular team, he wouldn't allow. Maybe he doesn't grab him by the neck in the choke. Maybe he pushes him and grabs. I don't know, but he's not gonna sit back and watch his teammate get attacked by somebody. He's just not gonna do it. Yeah, and then when you look at this as a whole, Skip, you talk about Draymond and who he is and the things that he's done. He's the highest technical foul guy, ejections in the NBA right now as an active player. I mean, just his history go all the way back to 2016 and Steven Adams when he kicked him in the groin. I mean, you just so much in history with him. He kicked LeBron. He will never get the benefit of the doubt from a form of public opinion, and nor should he, based on some of his actions and his behavior. So I'm not letting him off the hook at all, but I also understand what he's doing. Okay, given his track record, should he be suspended? Do you think that will factor into suspension?
It definitely will factor in, Skip. They'll definitely suspend him because of his history. But I don't like what you said earlier, Skip, where you're like, well, they see Rudy Gobert as a peacekeeper. Clay's, like you just said, Clay's not used to this.
I didn't say it. The ref said it.
Right,
I'm just saying that's what they were quoted as saying he was a peacemaker.
And I don't like that. Don't go into a situation with preconceived notions because Clay's a peaceful guy. Clay's a pretty peaceful guy.
That's what I said.
And so
totally out of character.
When you go into this situation, sometimes peaceful guys turn war. And so you can't assume, Rudy Gobert's going in there to make the beat. No, he's going into a war to war. So don't give anybody the benefit of the doubt when he's grabbing the opposing team's player.
Okay. Now, back to Keyshawn's point about Draymond's history. Since he entered the league, the actual stat, Keyshawn, is 18 ejections. He has by far the most ejections since he entered the league. On just pure technical fouls, Draymond has 144 since he entered. Guess who has 4 more than that at 148? Russell Westbrook. I was surprised by that.
Really?
That Russ has 4 more, 148 to 144 since Draymond entered the league. Then we all know
that's
what
just
happened.
Technicals, though, right?
Technicals.
Those
just
are
technicals. Yes. So
yeah, I can see Westbrook getting technicals.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of them. That's a lot of technicals. But the point is, Draymond has paid $1.5 million in fines. I don't know how you guys would have felt about $1.5 million coming out of your pocket in just fine money that you could have kept if you just, right?
Yeah. Usually NBA don't fine big numbers.
I learned my lesson a couple times with the fine. So
all right. Okay.
I learned my lesson.
We all know what happened with Jordan Poole. I don't know how you guys felt, but at the time, there's just one line you cannot cross. As mad as you get at a teammate, you can't go jack him in the jaw. You can't go, you can't go lay him out. And Draymond, I don't know what was said. I'm sure Jordan Poole said something that was punch worthy, but you just can't. You can't cross that line. And I thought it might be the end of the line for Draymond as a Warrior, but they finally made a call at the end of the year. Nope, we're going to go forward with Draymond. I thought it would be more trouble than worth going forward. But as you guys know, he has been the guts of this team, where he is the enforcer. He's the only physical player on a very finesse-based team. Even the head coach was a finesse player. Remember, he got punched by Michael Jordan. He didn't punch Michael Jordan. He got punched. And the team has been finesse, maybe to a fault, except for the one guy who, as you pointed out, Keyshawn, he got ejected in what was game 4. He got suspended for game 5. It was for game 4 of the 2016 NBA Finals. So the point is, this team wouldn't have won without Draymond's enforcement, without the edge that he brings. There are times I think he takes his edge over the edge because he tries to play to the part of, he's almost become like a wrestling villain. Like he just goes crazy. That time he got ejected back in, it was game 1 2 years ago at Memphis, first round of the playoffs. And I think we have the video of it where, remember, he took a victory lap all the way around the arena. Here he is at Memphis, that was crazy. It's just like, it's a little bit over the edge to me, where you've just kind of lost it. But he just delights in that. He likes to play that role of the wrestling villain. So how crucial do you guys think he is to this team?
He's essential. You just said it, Skip. They're not winning the championships without him. So that's essential as it gets. If he's not on this team, do they win the championships that they won? Well, I don't think they do.
And you can make a case they would have won the one in 2016 when they're up 3-1 if he had not been suspended. And I still can't believe they suspended a starter for a game 5 of the NBA Finals, but they did because of his track record.
You know how this thing goes, Skip. We're going to tolerate you till we don't have to tolerate you.
Yeah, I know.
In this situation, it's in all sports. You can have a guy that is this enforcer, has the energy, is the guy that they look to do some things to get them going in the right direction. But the moment that play completely just slips off, where you're no longer a defensive stopper, you're no longer a rebounder, you're no longer the passer that can run the offense, when you're no longer that guy and you're still having these antics at that point in time, that's when they say bye-bye to you. And you know this, Skip, every single team, not every team, but a majority of the teams in your heyday of the 80s, the 70s, and even in the early 90s, everybody had one of these guys. I don't care if it was Dennis Rodman, Rick Mahorn, or Charles Oakley, or Kurt Rambis. Everybody had one of these guys.
They sure did. No, I hear you. I just think in the big picture, the way this team is built, that what Draymond did, even though I'm pretty sure he'll get suspended and should get suspended, it will actually benefit the psyche of the Warriors, because they're going to love this quietly that he did, to both your points. He did jump in and he put a headlock on Rudy Gobert and said, no, not in my house.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, they condoned Draymond's behavior when they kept him this year and they got rid of Jordan Poole. They said, hey, I hear what you guys are saying, but this is a core guy. So regardless of the fact that he punched Jordan Poole in the face and it's documented, it's on camera.
It is.
We prefer him over Jordan Poole.
Somebody leaked that to the media, because that was private practice video, man. And somehow it got leaked because I'm guessing, and I guessed at the time, somebody wanted Draymond gone. They wanted to ruin his reputation as a Warrior, and it almost did. But to your point, no.
I just really want to know what Jordan Poole said to him to get him to do this. And I'm not talking about just this moment. Something led up to this.
I agree.
Something, right? Something. But I just want to know what that something is.
But I'll also say this, Skip. It's curious that the reaction to this is much different than the reaction to Jordan punching Kerr. Like, much different than the reaction.
Well, nobody knew about it at the moment. It took a while to come out and say.
Even when you knew about it, you weren't sitting there like, oh man, Jordan needs to get Jordan's reputation. You're like, man, Jordan's a competitor.
Yeah, but still though, first of all, we didn't have the video.
No,
we didn't see it. It's a different world now. And for all God's sake, man, that's Michael damn Jordan.
I understand.
Nobody gonna say that to MJ.
I'm understanding, but I'm saying somebody getting put. That's why I tell you, Key. You keep acting like this social media age ain't different and shouldn't be treated different. It should be treated different, and the players should be given more leeway now. Because back in the day, they were doing a lot of the same things that just weren't getting caught on camera. And so now you're like, well, it wasn't just bad.
So why should you get leeway? Why should you get leeway because it's caught on camera? Why would I give somebody leeway because it's caught on camera?
Because you've given leeway to the guys that
punishing.
You're punishing these guys.
Michael Jordan.
You're overanalyzing these guys.
You're not punishing Michael Jordan.
You're overanalyzing these guys is what I'm saying. Social media allows you to overanalyze guys, and it's overanalyze, over scout, over freaking criticize. And so now guys have to deal with the scrutiny, over scrutinize. So when you make mistakes, you got to deal with 87 people watching the all 22. You got to watch, and everybody got to watch this Draymond video and rewind it, slow-mo it, do this. You didn't have to deal with that.
No. And yeah, by the way, when I first read that Michael had punched Steve Kerr, I thought, come on, Michael, you're better than that. Pick on somebody your own size. And then I continue to read that he also, in practice, punched Will Perdue, a 7-footer out of Vanderbilt University. So he picked on somebody a little taller than him, just for the record.
He went to Vandy, Skip.
Yeah. So you saying he's soft because he went to Vandy?
That's what he says.
I didn't. You said it. I didn't say it.
Well,
it came out of your mouth.
Accused Richard of being soft going to Little Stanford, right?
Little Stanford. Skip. What are we talking about? This is
private school. They Palo Alto. Yeah. Out on the farm. I don't know.
Skip, it ain't where you went to school. It's where you're from. That's why they ain't going soft.
Bingo.
I'm just waiting to get one of those words from Richard I can't spell. You know, I just want one of those.
Antiquated.
You wanted it to be antiquated so bad, Skip, but no, antiquated.
I like it. All right, up next, more breaking news. Whew. We got to discuss this. Deshaun gone for the year. I'm talking about Deshaun Watson gone for the year. Wait, to a shoulder injury? I didn't see that coming.
I thought he was clear.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.